Hello and welcome. This is Chrisanne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne. Today we are going to be doing a recap of all the projects that I made during the hashtag ABC April 2025 challenge. Some I made on camera with you all, and some I made when the camera stopped and I continued to make projects. I thought I would do a recap video. I had a lot of fun doing this challenge, and that was put forth by Margaret from Seven Plaza and Tony from Crafty by Tony. So let's get started. Unfortunately, I did not start at A. I didn't clue in that this was going on. I started with letter G, which was a gusseted pocket with journaling cards. So I did this funky gusset right here. And then we did some journaling cards to go on the inside. And those kind of stick in here. And I glued them onto a page that will eventually get sewn into a journal. So this is just a coffee stained paper. So let's put that over there. Next was H. And that was mini heart notebooks that were good for hidden journaling. So I did a couple of different themes in a couple different colors. So some was already decorated paper and some was paper that I decorated. And then we did some rubber stamping. These are all using the the tarot cards that start with the letter H. So we have the Hangman, the Hierophant, and the Hermit. And then we made some little mini notebooks to go inside of those, some heart-shaped papers that we cut to go inside those. And the inside of the paper is decorated on both sides. The ones that were already decorated paper, like scrapbooking paper, those are just inked on the inside, but I made a whole bunch of those and I was very happy to do that. So that one's called H, Heart Mini Notebooks for Hidden Journaling. So I'm giving you the exact title. If you want to go back and watch any of my videos, that's what I have called them. If you go back and look through my channel. Next is I, index card inserts. Ooh, I had fun with this one too. I had fun with all of them. But any excuse I have to play with bugs and stickers, and here, let me just hold them up here. So it's just made on index cards that I have previously decorated on both sides, and this is using sprays and inks and dye from tie-dyeing clothing. And then we stenciled a bug, we stamped some words. This is from a book, a children's book, the cutouts that I have here. And then there's some fabric as well. So very sort of multimedia project. We did the whale tails on these as a great sort of pull thing. I like color. These are bright, colorful, lots of stenciling, lots of stamping, lots of recycling from the books. So that one was I, index card inserts. The next one is J, and that is journaling jewelry with no tools. We're going to see that later because I added it to projects, so I don't have any loose ones here to show you, but when we go along, we'll see it. So let's see, the next one, that was J, the journaling jewelry with no tools. Next one is K, keys, keyholes, and kings on craft paper, and those are decorative elements. So we have that one. Put that over there. That one, once again, you can see I like color. So even though I'm doing sort of browns and kind of grungy-ish colors, I still managed to add pops of color. This one's getting all tangled up. There we go. So I did my keys. I did the keyholes, keys here, and then the kings. I think I passed it already. Yeah, like I have a lot of these birds that were wearing their little crowns to be kings. Oh, I have to retack that, my little bling. There's that one. There's that one. When I go to add things in a journal, I typically make sure like these little bits are glued, etc. So this one was K. Keys, keyholes, and kings on craft paper. These are decorative elements. Next one is L. These are, this was funny too. Library cards and pockets with labels, lace, letters, leaves, and lilies. Yeah, I had a little too much fun with this one. So we did the lilies, we did all these fun little labels on these journaling cards, used some leaves, love to use my leaves. Here's a little bit of lace. And then, you know, we turned this label into a little pocket to add these other ones. And I make things mirror imaged so that I can add them in my journals facing each other. Because when I'm gonna glue this in, I'm gonna add glue this way, so this can be an additional tuck spot right there. So that was L. Next one is M. Masterboard, hold on, let me grab it. Yeah, here we go. So this is Masterboard pocket and frame with mitered corners. Once again, I make them mirrored. So whenever I try and make two things, I know these are going to go in sort of next to each other facing pages in my journal. I like my pages to coordinate with each other, next to each other. I'm kind of geeky that way. So we made a masterboard, cut it up, mitered the corners, turned it into frames, added mushrooms, of course, because that was the whole M day. And this one has another mushroom with the hidden journaling. That was kind of a fun one. That one kind of got me out of my my comfort zone to do the mitered corners. And then we did some recycling to do like a little bit of acetate right there. So that was M. N, nature themed. I like to do anything nature themed. So we did nature themed mini notebooks and belly band. So here's the belly band, and this was also left over from that masterboard. So I added it to this. We added a fairy, we added some mushrooms. I'm working on a fairy mushroom journal. Nature themed little mini notebook. These are made using index cards. We added some different colors here, and then the way that we put it all together was just, it's being held together by a ribbon. We did a little mushroom charm on this. So that was a really easy way to put together a notebook if you're not comfortable using a stapler or you're not comfortable sewing it together. You just loop around a piece of ribbon. So this is N for the little nature notebooks. And this one was using some scraps left over from another project. We added some washi and some stickers. And then we did this fun one as well, which is a double-sided paper. We have this that we can tuck in there. Added some papers here to make it a nature-themed notebook. So that was N. O is oxide decorated over the page hidden journaling. So let me get this back out. So this is one of those, oh, and it's I magnetized it. Oh, let me put it here so you can see it. So it's an over the page that we Velcroed here. So there's journaling here. Flip the page over. Velcro here. So there's journaling here. So we decorated both sides. And it's magnetized, so it will hold to the page. So we decorated everything with oxides, then we stenciled, we added our layers of stickers and die cuts and tab punches and stamps and, you know, all the tools in our tool bag. So that was, oxide decorated over the page, hidden journaling. Next is P. P is for plants, paper dolls, and a pocket. So we did this fun pocket fold, and then this is a pocket up here, and then of course if I glue it in my journal this way, we get an additional pocket right here. So we have our plants. I used plant book in order to create these larger pockets. We used plants as decorative elements here, paper dolls, and of course I had to use some little fun different. So this one, I'm gonna move this one, so you can see that these are created mirrored as well, so they'll fit in a journal on facing pages. So pocket, pocket, and then pocket. So that's those two. And then I did another one just because I had the fun stuff on my desk. So that was P. The next one is Q. Oh, I had fun with this one too. So Q. Q is for quilt folio with quilted greeting cards. So this is an entire piece of the double page spread from a quilting book that we folded it into a folio. And then what we did is we took from another book some pieces of quilts to make some greeting cards. Some of them we added words to, some of them we did not add words to. Now you can take the greeting cards and put them directly in your journal. I give this whole thing, this whole unit, as a gift. And that is what I will be doing. So these are the cards. When I decide who I'm going to give it to, I'll probably add some of the sticker words to some of them. A lot of people don't like words on them. They just kind of, I don't know, I might be jazzing up the cards a little bit. And then back here is the spot to add the envelopes. So I do 4 envelopes on this side, 4 envelopes on this side, because I have 8 cards within this folio. And then we did the edge here using piece of quilt, and then I did this little charm using pieces of quilt as well. So there's a whole bunch of quilt stuff on that one, so it was cute. The next one is R. Receipt. Oh, here we go. Receipt journaling using receipt journaling spots. So these are spots to journal on using rubber stamping with red ink. So this is R. So these are all receipts. So you can journal on the back. And then of course I added my red ink. So these receipts I got out of a large book that I had purchased a very long time ago from Temu that had just all these different sort of ephemera pages in it, and they're approximately this size. I did come through and do the corners. Then we added some fibers at the top. I can't remember if I got all of these made with you guys or I continued to make some on my own. But either way, I have a stack. And they're all plain on the back, so they can all be used for journaling. So that was R, receipt journaling spots, rubber stamping with red ink. The next one, I had so much fun with this one too. The next one is S, for steampunk snippets, and made some cards. So what we did is we made a whole bunch of these. It's on a black background. A whole bunch of steampunk snippets. Oops, goes that way. And we used different papers that we put them on. And then what I did is I took them and I made greeting cards. Greeting cards. And then I'm jumping ahead just a smidge. After my tea, which is the very next one I'm going to show, after my tea video, I had all of these steampunk snippets on my desk. So this you didn't see in camera. and I have a little steampunk charm. I took them and I turned them into a tag mini book. These are all pockets. If you watched, oh, maybe I haven't published it yet, but I'm going to be publishing very soon a Temu haul where I got some really nice tags and I was waiting for those tags to come in. Those tags I will decorate to be tucked behind these pockets. But each one of these is a pocket to hold that tag. And then the back of all of this is going to have lines on it. Haven't done the lines yet. So each large tag on the back is a journaling spot as well. So this is what I've done with all those snippets. So I take 5 tags, I put them together, and I create a mini book. And I added some fibers and I added a steampunk charm. So that's what I did with my leftover steampunk goodies. Next, we go into T. Oh, getting ahead of myself. T is for a tag mini book that has trees on it. And here is one of those little elements. Remember we were talking about the journaling jewelry with no tags. This is one of the ones that we made. I added it to my tree book. So this is the T for tree tag mini book. So this was a book. This was a bonsai tree book. So I cut all the bonsai trees out of it. And we decorated the tags, we stenciled, we stamped, we added different labels, of course, you know, the cutout things. We added some washi. We added washi stickers, all different types of stickers. You know, these I had made, these are from something else. So rubber stamps. These are a stencil, these are stamps. This one's a belly band, so I'm going to put something behind it when I get there. But you can see I stenciled the back of all of them. We stamped on it. We added the labels, etc. This belly band was left over from that M where we did the mitered frame and we created that master board. So I had this piece left on my desk. So I used it to create this tag. So I'll probably come in, I'm not going to use this, but I'm just saying, come in and just tuck a something right there behind that. We use stamps, we use stickers, we use all of that fun stuff. There will be lines on the back of each and every one of these tags because each one is meant to be an actual usable journal. So this is T for tag tree mini book. Okay, the next one is U. I have fun with this one. This is an upcycled CD that I turned into a fairy mini book. Under this is a CD. So we used the CD to create a little more substance to our book. So we covered the CD with paper on the outside, and on the inside we used a folded piece of paper, and this is what creates our book. So I'm either going to glue this into a journal or I'm going to put it like in a belly band or a corner tuck or something like that. So I had fun with my Lavinia stamps, my Lavinia inks, my Lavinia stencils. We created all of this funness. I added glitter. I don't know if you can see the glitter. I hope you can. We added glitter on every wing and flower. So all of this has glitter. This has a different glitter. This has glitter. Fun, 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 fun. Had a blast with that one. That one was the U, the upcycled CD fairy mini book. Next one is V. Victorian. My little pouch over here got all out of order. Okay, so this is V. Victorian masterboard tags. So yeah, we made another masterboard, and then I turned them into some Victorian tags. I added some fibers, I added some washi, we layered the papers to create the masterboard with some stamped keys, and then you can journal on the back. Some of these are stickers, some of these are die cuts, but this is the V for Victorian. Some of these I am going to use in my steampunk stuff because the keys coordinate with the steampunk, you know, that all that fun stuff. So and this one probably would go in my fairy journal. I can use all of it for all different applications. So that was V for Victorian Masterboard tags. Next one, W, is for a wreath tag mini book, and I did watercolor with this one as well. So W for wreath, W for watercolor, and we added some of our little charms here. We added some fibers at the top. So we watercolored different vines on each and every one of the tags. We came through and we stamped it. Then we came and we watercolored some splatters on everything. I added some cutout wreaths from a wreath book that I got specifically to do the W. And then my mom had given me a whole bunch of ribbon bows, so I stuck those on here. So each one of these is similar, but yet different because it's handmade. And then the back will have lines, so this could be used for actual journaling, to be an actual usable journal. So was W. X is wild card, and X was creating a witchy tag mini book, which totally was fun. I haven't done my witchy stuff in a long time. If you've followed me for a long time, thank you, first of all. And I did in October of 2024, for the entire month, I did an entire massive witchy journal. And that journal, I got to use all my fun witchy stuff. So I pulled a lot of that stuff out to use. So we did a lot of the Tim Holtz stamps. We did the Tim Holtz dolls, the Tim Holtz words. We added all our labels, some other stickers. We layered with lots of different stickers. We added some bling. I think I added the bling when I was done the video. And then we added a lot of glitter. I don't know if that shows up, but all of, whoops. I think I did this after the video was done too. All the tags have a glitter outline on them. So the back of each one of these is gonna have lines on it. So it's a functional journal, but I did each one in a really fun, witchy, spooky, Halloween-y theme, which is totally right up my alley. So you can see I stenciled the background, we stamped all different things, we added different stickers, lots of the die cut people, wings. We created these. I had fun. I just had fun. That's what we did. On each and every one of these, there's glitter as well as some bling. So that was the X wildcard, creating witchy tag mini journal. Each one of those tag mini journals has 5 pages. Okay, the next one, Y, which is you do you. So I created snippets, and not all of these I made on camera. Some of these I made afterwards. These are snippets using the sheet of paper that I leave on my desk when I stamp or stamp off onto that, or I'm stenciling and I stencil over, or I need to clean off my brush. I keep a piece of paper on my glass mat. This is made with those papers. So I have a whole bunch of papers that I cut up, and we made these. So some of these were things I had on my desk. We had some of these on my desk. I'm working on my fairy mushroom journal, so I did a lot of these with that sort of fairy mushroom theme. And these stickers, all of these stickers here, not these, but all of these fairy butterfly stickers were printed wrong. They were not printed with a sticky background. They were printed on the background that you remove. I didn't catch it in time to complain to Temu. You get what you pay for. But the other ones that I got were wonderful. I was debating throwing them away, but look it, I glued them right into the journal and they worked. So I have a whole bunch of those. I added faux postage to all of these just because I wanted to sort of break up some of that background stuff if it was too busy. And these are punched out from an old recycled calendar and brown bag on all of them. So you can see that. So I recycled a lot of things because I was debating throwing these stickers out, but they're so pretty. I just kind of had fun with that. So some of these are going to be used as decorations on a pocket or decorations on the front of a journal or whatever. Decoration on the front of other things that I make. But some of these can be pockets themselves. Like that's long enough that I can tuck some things right behind that. This one I made off camera too. Kind of had that sticker floating around and I thought, oh, that's pretty. I had this paper left over from another project. So let's use it. This one I just kind of, I had fun. So yeah, more than half of these were made off camera. So that was the why you do use snippets from crafting scraps on my desk. Last but not least, from this challenge was Z, which is for a zine. We created a zine. So we made this little fun mini book. Each one of these are pockets. This is from the wreath book that I cut up, and I just covered the back of it with a coffee stained paper, using that just to tuck in here. It's a journaling, actually I wanted to go in this way. It's a journaling spot that you can journal on the back of that. So all of these pockets